Here we go from the extraordinary South Point Bowling Closet. We're here for the title matches of the Scratch and Handicap divisions of the 2018 Junior Bowlers Tour Las Vegas main event. Handicap is on the left. Top seed Dante Villa is taking on Lathan Chin in the handicap finale. Despite the difference in height, the handicap is close. Dante has to beat Lathan by 4 to tie, 5 to win. And the little guy fires it up there in the first frame. He leaves that 7 count. To their right, in the Scratch Division perennial finalists in the main event, defending champion Solomon Salama taking on Bean Ha, aka Brennan. Most of his buddies know him as Bean for many, many years. Looking smooth as they match each other double for double. Been fantastic matches in all the divisions, but especially Scratch this time around, as they have really put on a clinic on a very tough pattern. They've been bowling on it for a whole week now, and they finally just about got it zoned in. They also got a practice session on each pair prior to each game, because we moved to a fresh pair in this version of a sort of bracket, sort of stepladder. And they hit some charcoal with some surface, and each one sort of playing similar lines on the opposite side. Brennan with his thumb in the ball. Hang on. Oh! Gets a huge break trip in that 4 out. Well, Solomon, the form that just about every person who follows bowling in the country knows, that two-handed powerhouse who has a chance to win back-to-back-to-back junior golds here, and gets to do it in the brand new U17 this summer. Throwing shots just like that. Wow. Front 3 versus front 3. See why these two guys are playing for the title. Dante has been brilliant all weekend long. Bowls our regular season tour out of the Southern California Conference from San Diego, and has not had particularly good results of late, but put it all together this weekend. Won his semifinal match fairly easily, and would love to break through for main event title. Big turnout means a big prize fund. Here's Solomon in his 4th. Oh! Well, newsflash for main event, we will not have a 300 tie in the title match. The way they're going, who knew? $2,500 for first place in handicap. We guaranteed 15, so that's awesome. We guaranteed $3,000 in Scratch. We're paying $4,000 to the winner of this match. $2,500 for second place. Solomon occasionally has a little bit of issues on his corner pins. That ball rode the 1-2 board for a little while, but he covers it. Oh! I don't know where the bowling ball went on that. That must have gone left of the 7 pin after hitting the head pin. I think it's a pretty light ball he's throwing there. Bean for the lead. Oh! Every bowler's dream when you can trip the 4 in one frame and then get a shaker 7 in the next frame. That expands your pocket greatly, expands your confidence as well. Everybody knows that this facility has been of late been lefty favorable. There's no need to beat around the bush about it. And this Minnesota bowler has a lot of people on team righty right now on his side. Extend to 21. Yes, sir. What? Looking pretty darn unflappable. Both these guys with main event finals and title match experience. Showing great stuff. Speaking of unflappable, I mean, this guy is a striking machine when he's got his look at the 1-2 on any pattern, at any building. And leaving back-to-back 7s is just so far below acceptable for him. He's a perfectionist on top of everything else, and a smart, funny, cool to be around kid as well. But all business on the lanes. Striker Villa, that's 3 marks in a row for him. He's up by 26 or so, and only has to beat Latham by 4, so looking really good for Villa. Sister Michaela won the SoCal Invitational last season, so Team Villa doing well in the JBT majors of late. Whoops! And you see why this pattern is not as easy as they are making it look over there in Scratch. It will hang to the right for the righties. If you pinch it, it will definitely take off. There we go. Little couple pocket 7s, just testing the light. To see, well Solomon and Beanert, see, there's exactly why this pattern is hard, as he goes 3-3, plucking off either corner. That's a visual textbook of why they're tricky. So how come Brennan can play up the right side and Dante's ball just skidded? It's where your lines are. Watch how parallel Brennan's lines are, meaning footwork, release, and direction through the front. That's why the ball is able to get through the heads directionally better than what Dante just did with a ton of side roll and the ball going left to right. It won't hit the friction the same way. That more end over end roll from the outside is the way to go for sure. That was the way to go for Latham. He gets his first strike of the title match. His big brother Leoge bowls on tour with him as well. Does very well in the Scratch division. Taking 0 time as they usually do at that age. Yeah, and gets the double on the Brooklyn. No reaction out of him. I'd be pumping his fist and everything. Usually it's hard to get his head out of his video games. I'm just glad he's stuck around for this entire long day. I thought he'd be elsewhere by now. And after such a good looking start from Dante, a rocky last 3 shots to say the least. It's going to make that a bit more, way more interesting over there actually. Pa from Faribault, Minnesota. Him and his brother Briley been traveling the world doing the bowling thing. Very successful collegiate bowlers as well. And everybody else still working towards that college thing. Right, nice conversion from Donnie. Not an easy spare at all. Fiercely competitive Salama needs this doubled. It's got a wheel. Oh boy, oh boy. Crowd likes that. Similar break to what Eileen Linares got in the semifinals to help project her towards the girls' Scratch title as the big crowd looks on. Oh, jeez, talk about breaks right there. And he sends a bunch of pins over to the town of the reverse Brooklyn and gets that to fall. Goodness gracious. Capitalizing on breaks is one of the many things that makes Scratch champions. You heard that ball double dribble. Solomon liked that shot, but that little double dribble meant it picked up a little less of a roll. Does not roll the 3-pin. Latham does trip out the 9-pin. And then from 43 in the third and looking like not much is going on, he pulls a turkey out of his hat. And now has himself a 12-pin Scratch lead. What on earth? Topsy-turvy. Unlike most national tournaments, this is really for any age and any average. Make it 4 in a row! Wow! As Dante just has to be flat blindsided right now. What's going on? Let's see what Bean can do here on 58. Look out! Woof. Crowd's reaction tells the story there. It's our first woof of the Scratch title match. How can Villa respond? Does he ever? Wow. Now it might be, in giant air quotes, only the handicap division, but these bowlers know how to respond, even at their level. So the highest average bowler that entered handicap this week was Josh Williams. He got a stick and made the cut. The lowest average bowler that entered a handicap this week was Cano, at a 67 average, and he made the cut. So If you think you're not old enough or good enough to bowl main event, you're wrong. Come see us next year, same date, same place. That's the 9th frame already for Villa. Again, has to win by 4, and right now trails by 14. And a 3-9 is not a pleasant thing to shoot at when there's out of bounds. Brennan in the 9th. 13-pin lead gets that all-important foundation 9th frame strike. Dante unable to pick up that 3-9 in the 9th. Big advantage Lathan, but what can he do? The younger bowler, he might strike out. He might do something else we don't really want to talk about on camera in this shot. He might quit and go play video games. We still don't know. Oh! Well, instead it's another good shot. Yeah! Make it 5 in a row for the little guy. He has got the crowd on his side now as from oblivion. That's right. King of the Hill match. Let's go. Double or nothing, says David over there. Solomon with a small reaction to that 9th frame strike, which is what's keeping him alive. Still has room for 240, which would make Bean get the first hit. Again, a double dribble, but this time does get the 7-pin out. Lathan's hitting the head pin again. Oh, I believe that's plenty, though. Let's add it up here. 179, 187. If he misses everything, it's over. Lathan Chin's going to win main events. How about that? Oh, doing his best Solomon impression. They false start. Boy, clever kid. Tell you what. Now he's got to wait here for Solomon, hopefully. Yes, and he is. Good boy. Giant shot for Salama. Yeah! At his best when he absolutely needs it. That spare doesn't matter at all. Little guy, you did it. Tough pill to swallow for Dane, who was just in cruise control all weekend long. His best performance in JBT in a long time. And that match just turned on its ear on him when he had that 3-3 and Lathan started striking. But listen, he's going to take $1,400 home to LA. Still a potentially important fill ball. And that's a potentially important count loss right there. 244. A fine game. And look how quickly Brennan is up right now. Usually they take extra time. The other rack isn't even down yet. He's waited for this moment a whole year. This is for the win. And scores it. What a different strategy than we're often used to. Sometimes bowlers take a lot of extra time and end up sort of freezing up there. The complete opposite, as Brennan was on the approach while Solomon was coming off the approach. He knew what he had to do, obviously knew what he was doing, and threw a perfect ball in the 1-3. Now, because Solomon only got 8 on that fill ball, 6 spare is enough to win this. And 10 spare is way enough. Wow. On a pattern, at the time he bowled his first singles this year, there was only 17 bowlers plus out of 100 some odd that had bowled so far this year. And he blasted 809 for his first 3 singles games to make a statement. And that opening exclamation point will have a victorious finish here as he's going to shoot 250 and win the main event. How about that? Brilliant stuff out of all 8 of our finalists in scratch, handicap girls scratch as well. What an outstanding main event from start to finish. See you next year for main event 26th through the 29th back here at the Plaza, and see you next year for more JBT in 2 weeks in Oregon and California. Good stuff.